Welcome back to the channel, friends. So today in the garage I plan on installing a HighLIFTer 2-inch lift kit on a 2020 Sportsman 850 Premium Trail. So if you want your ATV to have higher ground clearance and also look cool, stay tuned and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so welcome back. Here are the machines. Today's machine is right here. This is a 2020 Premium Trail. Sick machine. Excellent riding machine. So far I'm very impressed with this machine when it comes to clutching and also the tires they put on. These Duro Power Grip V2s are excellent lightweight tire. They feel great on the trail and they still have a ton of grip. I'm very impressed with those. This is my girlfriend's machine. We just got this. This is my machine right here. I have a bunch of videos out there already with this machine plowing and doing things like that. Please take a look at those videos if you're interested. I just did the Checo Racing pinion plate for the front diff, which reinforces the front differential, which is known to fracture at that pinion plate if you run bigger tires. I just put these 28-inch XM 310s by System 3. These are 28-inch mud tires, and they're 8-ply, and they're somewhat stiff, so I have to run them at a lower PSI right now. I've been kind of messing around with like 3 to 5 PSI. See what wears correctly because I don't want it to be eating up the tire if I go too low in PSI. So back to this machine here. As you can tell, there looks like there was a difference between the heights on these two machines. That's the stock height right now, no lift kit, and this is with lift kit and also 28-inch tires. So I took a couple measurements on the machines at the frame. So your lowest point on these Sportsmans is going to be at the belly plate. So right down the middle here is your lowest point because the Sportsmans, they taper up in the front and they taper out in the back too. So with this machine, with 28-inch tires, which I actually measure to be 27 with a tape measure, they're not true to size, I get 13¼ clearing the belly pan there, the bottom of that frame on the center. And at the fronts, I get 15 inches, okay, or a little bit more, 15.5, depending on, you know, once you sit on it, you're gonna get less ground clearance. But right now, as it sits, it's 15 front and back, and 13¼ in the center. A stock machine, okay, this has the 27-inch Duro Power Grip V2s. So with 27-inch tires, I measured just over 9.5 inches at the belly. Okay, so that's right in the middle there at the lowest point. In the front, you'll get 12 inches, and same thing in the rear. You get 12 inches on a stock machine. So once you sit on the machine, your body weight is going to compress the suspension, and you're going to lose some ground clearance, whether you realize it or not. You might lose like up to an inch or more, depending on how heavy you are. So my girlfriend's pretty light, so she's not going to lose a lot of ground clearance when it comes to compression of the suspension and the tires. But when I get on there, you know, I'm almost 100 pounds more than her, so my suspension compresses a lot more, and I have more kind of bulge in my tires when you really air down. So those are all things to consider when you're actually doing some serious trail riding, and then you end up bottoming out and realizing that you don't have enough ground clearance. That can be easily solved with a 2-inch lift kit by HighLIFTer. The kit is really high quality, and let's go take a look at the kit right now actually, and I'll show you what comes in the kit. So I have it all laid out here for you guys. I went ahead and spray painted the whole thing semi-gloss black with this stuff right here. I really like this stuff. I put it on everything. And this is the box it comes with. Instructions, stickers. Don't mind those grips. Those are being put on the ATVs soon. Those are OD Rogue grips and OD Cush ATV grips. So I'm going to try those out, see how I like them. I also have the Vapor grip from OD coming as well. I'm going to try those out and see if they help out with the vibration or dampening on the handlebars. But anyways, back to the kit. It comes with zip ties, your longer bolts, your shorter bolts. So these go in the front. This is your rear set. These are the plates for the front suspension, and these are the plates for the rear. and your sway bar link extensions. So the tools you're going to need are a 15 millimeter, a 16 millimeter, and two 17 millimeter wrenches to complete the install. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tires from the ATV on one side to show you guys a front and back install, and then I'll go ahead and do the other side off camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. So let me get the machine ready and let's get to it. So the very first thing you want to do is loosen up the bottom shock eyelet here, and that's where you're going to need two 15 millimeter wrenches. So the instructions tell you to remove this metal brake line clamp here and to replace it with a zip tie. I don't like that idea, and I'm going to reuse the factory hardware because I can. The only thing is you got to do is just maneuver this brake line and clamp out of the way, and then place your bracket within the frame, the control arm kind of notch, and maneuver this out of the way, and you should be fine. This is the way I have it installed on my XP1000, and I have not had any issues whatsoever. So the next step is to take your brackets, take your longer 70 millimeter bolt. Your bracket's going to go on the outside of the factory ears here. There's just enough space there to push that brake clamp out of the way and then sneak in this first bracket. What you're going to do is use the washer and place it between the top hole and the factory shock eyelet. And then hold it in with another bolt. Install your locking washers on the back side. And then use two 17 millimeter wrenches to fasten down the new hardware. It's easier if you use a 17 millimeter socket for the back side. That way you can get better reach. Don't forget to install the spacer that goes in between the factory bracket on the control arm. That way it doesn't crush those tabs or ears towards the center. So you will install this sleeve before you go ahead and put your bolt in. Alright, so the last step is to go ahead and screw down that metal clamp that we loosened earlier, and go ahead and tighten down your brake line. Ooh, that snapped it right off, huh? Okay, so as you can see, the factory screw head snapped off. It couldn't take the force from the plate moving in. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the factory bracket still, but I'm just going to move it up just like a 3/8 of an inch, and then use a self-tapping screw and go right into the same part of that bracket and just relocate that because I want to keep that factory hardware. Alright, so I center punched and drilled my hole. Now it's time for the self-tapping screw. I'm just going to move the brake line a little bit forward to give it more slack around the control arm. So the last and final step was to go ahead and touch up all the spray paint and all the brackets and hardware and to make sure everything's blacked out because you do have like wrenching marks on it from tightening. So I went ahead and touched that up. The front now is all done. Now it's time to take care and tackle the rear. Alright, so to get started on the rear end of the ATV, grab two 15mm wrenches. Loosen up the upper shock mount bolt here and remove it. Then go ahead and loosen up the sway bar link end bolt and remove that. Okay, and then we're going to replace the factory piece here with the HighLIFTer version, which is longer. Alright, to back off the sway bar link, you're going to have to use a 16 and a 17mm wrench. Hold down the nut in the bottom to keep it from rotating, and then use your other wrench to back off the link. So now take your longer HighLIFTer sway bar link, which is made out of steel, not aluminum, and now thread that on. This link here is 19mm, so it is much bigger than the Polaris one. The nut at the bottom is still 17, so you just go ahead and tighten that carefully. I have paint on mine. I'm going to have to touch it up later, but tighten it up. Okay. Alright, time to reinstall the factory bushings and bolt. So next will be the upper brackets, collar, and bolt. There is an orientation to this. You want it to sit this way, okay, not this way. This will give you more of a lift. They're recommending for you to install it this way into the frame of the machine. So next is to reinstall the nut and bolt for the upper shock. I'm going to go ahead and put a 2x6 underneath the control arm and lower the jack. Okay, and that's going to compress the suspension enough so where I can actually line up the holes. Alright, so there it is. The HighLIFTer 2-inch lift kit is all set. I went ahead and tightened everything. Now I'm just going to put the tire back on, go ahead and do the other side, which is a little bit tighter because of the exhaust can, but get that out of the way, and then I'll show you guys some final shots of what it looks like. Alright, so really quick I want to talk about what I got for measurements on the machine. Front and rear we have 14 inches now, same thing at the footwell, and at the belly where it used to be 9.5 is now over 11.5 inches, somewhere in between there, because there's a lot of up and down when it comes to the bottom skid plate. So we gained a full 2 inches all the way around, and not only is it functional, it also looks great. My girlfriend's gonna love this. This was the very first upgrade she wanted on her machine. So stay tuned for more videos on this machine. I will be installing the heated grips and heated thumb, the factory Polaris option. And she also wants the hand guards, which I have installed on this machine. I have a video already on this. I will tag it. Also, side armor rails. I have a video on that. Have a video on the Checo Racing front pinion plate for the differential, and big gun exhaust, and what else? I will have a clutch kit video coming for this, and upgraded belt. So stay tuned. I will have more videos coming, whether it's plowing or modifications to the machine. So keep on checking in to see if I have new stuff. Well guys, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or comments, please place them down below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.